All right, everybody. So we have a bit of a special game right now because we have heroeslaunch.gg once more, and it's a Division 1 match. We have Gaming in the Rhythm, and they are playing against none other than James Baker, Team James Baker. And, well, I thought who best to commentate that with me than James Baker. So, welcome, James Baker.
Thank you very much, James Baker.
Thanks, James Baker. Talking to him, I mean, your boys are really quick, and they immediately lock down the Malfurion. Does that already give you the approval that you needed here, that Malf is really highlighted this, or did you expect that?
I mean, Malf is the best support in the game, and they clearly understand that, so I have a lot of faith, actually. It's a really inspiring move to first pick that Malf.
So, would you like the 5-man support game now on Tomb?
Oh, I mean, Tomb's a good map for it if you can get the Zarya. Go full ballistic style, Heroes of the Shield.
We have a Zul'ban immediately. Actually, someone told me earlier that I should suggest to one of the teams to play Zul. So, how good is your Kel'Thas? I mean, I know you're Malfurion. I haven't seen your Kel'Thas lately. So now we have James Baker. Oh my God, James Baker is playing Kel'Thas and is playing also Muradin. So James Baker, how good are those heroes when you play them?
Well, I was really good at Flamestrike build, but you have to wait till level 20 for that one now, and this is Tomb, so might not be my best hero. And Muradin, I'm better at Stitches, but if the Stitches gets banned out, then Muradin's my next go-to tank. So I'm feeling pretty confident so far. I think I can play all these at the same time.
Okay, cool. So we have two more. What would you like to be picked up here for the last one? What are your go-to heroes for the second damage and maybe another melee for the bot lane?
So I'd have to go with Li Ming because it's really easy. It is double maids, but I think we can handle it. And then I don't think 4 heroes is enough, so I think we should just take like Butcher or something. Just so I can have like an actual challenge, like while I'm playing.
So you control the 5 heroes and you want to give you a bit more of a challenge while you're playing, so you get the Butcher then instead and have him at the bot lane. What would you have like as an opponent here?
Ooh. Well, quite like a Cho'Gao, actually. Maybe a Lost Vikings Cho'Gao Abathur to close out the enemy team comp.
Why not throw in the Gazlo while we're at it? How about a Murky, for God's sake?
No, I think Gazlo's pretty good. I think Gazlo is sleeper broken, especially against Malfurion, you know?
You do realize what kind of like an effect that is going to have on Hero League if you continue to say that, and that people are going to hate you for it, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
First pick Gazlo every game.
Back.
James Baker told me he's great.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to rescind all those statements. I have to write a formal letter or something.
Someone didn't think that through properly. But yeah, I mean, like, with this, like, jokes aside for just a second, so far with the draft, are you happy for your boys? I mean, like, right now with the double pick, they could actually still confirm themselves a pretty good bot laner here. And Vala is open for auto attack damage. Would you like her here?
I think Vala's pretty good. I mean, honestly, I think if you can pick Vala Tassadar, then you have a really nice team comp. You're going to have to stick Kel'Thas bottom, which isn't great. But he can go even pretty much, and then you would win the rotation with that. However, we have picked up the Thor, which is also fine, because that should at least win bot. In terms of rotation, it's kind of Kel'Thas and Malfurion against Jaina Johanna. So they'll both clear kind of instant speeds, and then it'll be kind of a brawl after that.
Oh, the Zarya. Someone listen to you.
Oh, the Zarya. I mean, this is kind of the double support meta. So having a Zarya, just chucking it, kind of covers Mouth's weaknesses of not having any burst healing, and allows his sustain to really shine through. And that's a pretty insane pick, actually, Khaldor.
That's actually really interesting. Look at that. They actually go for the James Baker, like, memorial hero. They go for the Council.
Memorial? Oh, no.
I don't know. It's like, it's your go-to hero, or was. Do you actually play him now again? I mean, it was, like, basically the hero that kinda... Like, that it was like your go-to hero when it was, like, super aggressive in the support meta and everything, so that you were known for it. Do you still play him now?
I recently picked him up again since the rework. I don't like him as much with the new playstyle, but I'd still like to think that I can power through and play him enough and try and bring him back to the meta again, actually.
Alright, so guys, we have the first game, Tomb of the Spider Queen Gaming in the Rhythm going up against James Baker. And we have an Oriel and a Monk as the last pick, which is a bit of an interesting choice here for the setup that they're running. So let's see how much of an impact that's going to have. James Baker already playing 5 heroes at the same time, having more or less the double support. Let's jump straight onto Tomb of the Spider Queen and find out which team takes the lead. Alright everybody, welcome to game number 1. To the left side we currently see Gaming in the Rhythm with Haft on Jaina, Beyond on Tychus, Kenji is playing Johanna, we have Texo on Karazim and Galnagona on Oriel, and to the right side it's Team James Baker on Kelthas, James Baker. Thrall played by James Baker as we have James Baker on Zarya. And of course at the front line once again for the team in red we also have James Baker on Muradin, and it wouldn't be a Malfurion without James Baker controlling here. Very excited for this one, and commentating with me is once again James Baker.
Yeah, a lot of James Bakers in there.
Yeah, I have to admit your multitasking is amazing.
Yeah, I'm commentating, playing on 5 computers, and also reading Twitch chat right now.
This is really impressive.
So, coming to this level 1, I think probably we're going to see the team on the left clear first. But they're playing kind of scared.
Yeah, I mean, for now, we have once already up in the front line. Good old Flying Bear here. The bot lane. What do you think about that damage Monk at the bot lane? I've seen that. Oh, classic James Baker. Going straight for the pause. Yeah, bot lane Monk. What do you think about that against the Thrall?
It is a pretty volatile matchup. Oh, looks like we're ready.
Yeah, like F. I mean, there's no Zeratul in here, but I mean, you can't have it all, right?
So, yeah, as I was saying, pretty volatile matchup. As you can see, he actually outtrades the Thor, especially if the Thor doesn't go block. But he does have some issues in terms of sustain. If neither hero can hit the wave, then Thor loses. But if both heroes can hit the wave, then Thor outpokes with Q and gets a lot of sustain as well.
Yeah, so far he's actually starting to lose quite a bit of health. But we have the rotation coming in. Tychus wants to say hello real quickly, pushes him back with a grenade. Oh, this is a problem for James Baker. So 1 death against you already.
Well, at least it was a kill from Monk, so I'm not too upset so far. It could have been worse.
That makes it better, but I mean, your boys are doing pretty well up here in the middle right now, trying to set up a bit of a kill there against Jaina. Haft is in trouble, particle grenade, but the heals on Oriel. So yeah, right now when we're talking about supports, like going away from the match for a second, what's actually like your favorite 2 supports to play and why? Not necessarily from a strength perspective, but just to play.
I actually miss Uther a lot. It's not my favorite. I'd probably say Oriel is my favorite right now, but I really miss Uther. I kind of want him back, but at the same time, whenever he's in the meta's terrible. So I also kind of don't want him back.
Alright, any particular reason why? More keys to hit?
It's just there was a lot of thought that went into heal placement, and it's the same with Oriel, whereas a lot of the other supports right now, like right wing, you don't even place your heals at all, you don't even press buttons. Mouth is very much point and click, whereas with Uther, with both of his cooldowns being 12 seconds, you had to put a lot of thought in.
Right, well, we still have those rotations against Thrall at the bot lane here. But overall, James Baker doing pretty decent here. Talent-wise, we're currently seeing Johanna going straight into the amplified healing. Jaina once again in trouble, though. And this time she's...
Wow! 16 HP, that was close.
I really thought that Muradin would just, like, lock that one down, but apparently on cooldown there. So yeah, once again, rotation here, but despite the early kill against your team, you guys are doing actually really well here.
Yeah, the Zarya is giving me a lot to rotation. There's a lot of wave clear coming out from the Kayle, obviously. The Moonburn on my Fiona as well, really helping out. And it doesn't look like they can really be contested just from the mouth sustain and the Zarya shields.
What is your thoughts actually on Zarya in general? I mean, we have her here with all the shields, but going up, I mean, you played against the hero, obviously, coming with Panzer Scrimter as well. How would you rate that hero? Do you really feel like it's one of the heroes that should be banned by teams on this map, for example, early on? Or do you think, okay, you can now deal with the shields? Or also, is, in your opinion, Varian a good counter against that with the throw on 16?
I don't think that Varian's a good counter, just because I don't think that Varian's that great a hero. In terms of Zarya, I think she is pretty problematic right now. Shields in general seem to be far too strong. Just because the meta's all about sustain healers. Think Blightwing, think Malfurion, and their only weakness is the lack of burst healing, and that's being completely compensated for by the shielders of Zarya and Tassadar, to some extent Medivh as well.
Oh, that's a decent... Again, like half the... Oh! And this time he's over. There's Flying Bear, the heals, but the kill against Oriel. That was actually like a really cool play by her, sacrificing herself to save Jaina. If Jaina dies now, I would probably scream if I was Oriel.
Yeah, that was very nice. I was actually really impressed by Flying Bear going flying over the back of the team and making a really nice stun on the Jaina. Didn't quite amount to the kill, but a nice play nonetheless.
Your boys have a problem though. We just saw a kill also against Alchemy, so Kalthas is now reset when it comes to his stacking process on the queue. That's not really the spot you want to be in 5 minutes into the game on level 7.
It is definitely unfortunate. Since it's Tomb, it's not too big a deal because there are a lot of opportunities for him to start stacking his queue, but it's not ideal, you're correct.
I mean, talking like really quickly about the Muradin, what do you think these days about like that high priority that we are seeing on Skullcracker, oftentimes and also comboed on 16 with Give Him the Axe? Is that actually something where you say, okay, that has merit? Or do you feel it's just a trendy thing that doesn't really add value to competitive play?
I'm slightly confused, just as confused as I am about Perfect Storm actually. But since everyone seems to be taking it and having success with it, I'm gonna let them carry on and not say too much.
Alright, so besides that, builds are actually like pretty normal, at least for now. We're having at the same time also again the combo that I highlighted earlier with the Amplified Healing and the Regeneration Master. I can of course also argue against that, but we have 2 healers in, so the Amplified Healing should get quite a fair amount of value. So not necessarily a need to go into the Laws of Hope here. But now the Web Weavers for James Baker. James Baker is doing pretty well so far.
Jane is so close to dying so often actually. But yeah, we're seeing a great push up here in the top. I really like the rotation actually out of the blue team here. Rotating the Monk up just so that he can quickly clear that mid lane and then go up to top for the potential fight. While Tychus has a much easier time dealing against Thule when there's a Web Weaver pushing. So great play by them.
Yeah, the Monk already in position here, but down to the bot lane. We're currently seeing James Baker going up against Tychus. And I mean, sometimes as a Thrall it really kind of sucks because you're stuck on that solo lane for like ages and it feels like the entire game is happening and you're not taking part in it.
Yeah, definitely. That is one of the good parts about the hero there. Oh, narrowly missing the CC there on Karazim.
Yeah, I mean with Gravity Lapse, with decent Gravity Lapse against him and maybe like also then of course Malfurion following that up with a root, they could have made a play there. But now
Thule was pretty close as well. There could have been possibly a 3 CC chain. So
what's your thoughts on the damage monk in general? Not necessarily in this setup, but like as a general thing, do you feel like it has merit?
I definitely feel like the damage level 1 had merit, and of course the level 16 talent, but since the nerf I'm less sure. I still think it might be good, but I'm not sure if it's better than the heal in a solo support setup anymore.
Right now, Gaming in the Rhythm is actually getting quite a bit of momentum here, starting to move to the top lane, also with Odin immediately being top. Trying to go for the team fight. We have also Jaina in the middle. The escape artist of the team is doing some damage over there. Up to the top, it was a 3 versus 5. James Baker rotating over with everybody. That means that they're losing a fair amount of structures on the rest of the lane.
Yeah, you can see a much rougher rotation out of James Baker here. They've kind of left this bot lane unattended, and if Gaming in the Rhythm want this, they can definitely take this fort.
They? You mean you? I'm actually, I have to say that your multitasking was a little bit falling off here.
Unlucky.
Well, that's the earthquake. And the Tainment Strike was really nice there from Oriel, but the fight is still on. Ring of Frost on the ground. Johanna down, and immediately a 7-sided, but once more, Karazim is getting out of there. Everybody is so low, and Jaina is again surviving. Like, she was all the way on the other side of the team fight when that Ring of Frost hit. I have no idea how she was able to get around that again.
Yeah, very surprising plays count out Jaina here. She seems to be the slipperiest hero in the game somehow.
I think they could have really tried to focus her down here. Talking about focusing down, Flying Bear. Yeah, okay, saving yourself here with a quick Storm Bolt, alright. But the level 13 talent is starting to become a bit of a problem for you. How are you going to deal with this?
I feel like I really need to force a engagement right now. Like, they're very close to 13, but they don't have it yet. And that's exactly
he's doing a pretty good job with that so far. That could be a kill right there. Ult on Zarya, and finally Jaina goes down. Mr. Escape Artist apparently escaped a bit too often. Finally dead. It's a good job. Well done, James Baker.
Yeah, that's exactly what I needed. You can see we're very close to a pay here as well. So we can use this 4v5 thing, not specifically to get a play, but just to get our level 13 by the time that Jaina comes back.
Yeah, Jaina is another 4 seconds out, and the fight still continues. 5 versus 4. Turn-in interrupted. Karazim goes in. We're seeing Gaming in the Rhythm being very aggressive here. Once again, a play for Johanna. She's moving out. Gets healed, gets stunned. James Baker with a stun. Oriel with a quick ult. Jaina is back, but Johanna might still fall. Is able to survive here. The kill against Kel'Thas. Again, the stacks reset. James Baker, what are you doing?
Unfortunate. Very close to Earthquake being up, so I'm not sure I like that decision to take the full engagement. You can see, actually, Gaming in the Rhythm did a fantastic job of splitting the fight. Karazim had a fantastic position where he only had full, but he also had the potential to dash into the main fight as well. And that made it really awkward for me to fight there. We didn't quite get the kill on the top side of the fight, and that meant that we ended up losing it as the fight broke down.
I mean, it's a huge problem for you that you lost the stacks again on Kel'Thas. The damage, I mean, the quest talent not completed, so we're all starting back at 0. The boss, of course, another big issue here. It was so close to a turn-in, but at this point, the second turn-in really has to wait. So level 13 talents at least are finally being picked up, and that gives us the Giant Killer now on the side of the Thrall. And we're having the sustain thanks to the healing static for Muradin. That should help a little bit during the fights, in addition to the Zarya, of course, with the shields.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing them push with the boss here, and they also paid it at the same time. I'm actually not too big a fan of this rotation because I feel like they both kind of get cleared at the same time. It's very similar to Braxis, where if you take the boss and the Zerg wave, you probably only get keep because both of them are really bad at coring. Unless you have an advantage and you can really look to go directly for the core.
I mean, the one thing that where I would like it is if you already pushed out the other lanes so that you get value on the second and the third lane, but right now the minion waves are so far out pushed that they are probably not going to get a lot of that. But the fight is still raging on, and I mean, you could still fight on even talents here for a few moments.
Yeah, I think engaging is definitely the right thing. We've got a fantastic Earthquake position if he decides to go for it. And it actually got cancelled.
Yeah. Get cancelled out there, and there was a good Tainment Strike. Oriel in general had a couple of really nice ones so far. Always getting rid of the biggest threat, and Thrall several times was really the big problem for them. With decent Earthquake, that fight could have been changed, but right now mid-wave also pushing. 16 talents are in. Wave 100 fists now taken 2, and we have also the additional ability power for Jaina. That is a huge amount of damage that all of a sudden kicked in for Gaming in the Rhythm.
Absolutely. I think, honestly, I'm looking in a bit of trouble here. So, before 16 was when I think our comp was strongest. And
what do you think you have to do to turn this around?
I think what we're going to need to look to do is, they're not especially close to paying. So we just need to make sure we have someone soaking all 3 lanes. We can play it kind of safe until they farm the gems for their paying. And when we're about 15 and a half, we can look to sneak a pay-in. And if we get that, then we should be in an okay position, and we should have an even talents fight.
We, by the way, have in hero damage 42,000 for Khaldor. So despite the fact that you were not able to complete your quest talent, you're actually doing a really good job with your mage here. So just imagine how that would look if you already had that extra damage on the Flame Strike.
It is slightly painful, isn't it? There were 2 opportunities, and if either of those deaths didn't happen, then I would have the quest completed at this point.
I mean, but right now, I think you still feel confident. I mean, considering what you just said about the 16, you are actually doing a very good job at stalling this out a little bit. As you mentioned, there's no turn-in available to your opponent, so just another half level, and you're going to be in a spot where you at least can fight on an even talent level.
I think I've grouped as 5 a bit too early here, but I definitely was right to be cautious. They were not showing at all on the map, although in this case they were actually doing their hard camp.
And, well, for now, it looks like the opponent is looking for a fight. I'm actually a bit surprised that they are not playing it more aggressively. I would have expected them to at least invade the Bruiser camp.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that might be what they're posturing for now. They're shoving out the mid-wave, and I don't think they can...
It's too late, no?
I don't think they can man up and push into the fort. And we are going to see level 16 reached here.
Yeah, and just barely the Bruiser camp stolen away before that happens. There's the 16 right now, and that might be an opportunity. Only 6 stacks for the Khaldors here for you. We have Fury of the Sun Whale, and... oh, James Baker actually picked heavy impact on his Muradin here, whereas James Baker on Malfurion picked the Hardened Focus. What's your thought on the talent? We don't see it as often as we did in the past anymore, but it's still occasionally being picked.
I don't like it in this game specifically. I think it definitely does have its uses, but the main issue that you have to deal with here is the burst. But fight is kicking off.
Yeah, and there's the Ring of Frost. That was a good one. 4 hits immediately, but also the Earthquake doing huge value here. James Baker on the retreat, though, as we have Malfurion in trouble, and he is down. That's the elimination of Khaldor once again. Bakery, you're losing everybody here. What are you doing, dude?
I guess Micro and the Khaldor is just too difficult for me, as we're seeing every single player go down here, and this definitely could be a core if they walk through mid and go directly onto the core.
That was a bit of a rough... I mean, that was really rough. You did such a great job getting the level 16 talent.
Oh, hang on. There's some weird pathing going on. We are seeing Khaldor and Malfurion spawning very soon, Zarya as well, but the Katas are going to make it hard for this to be a defense.
Yeah. Nah, that doesn't look good for you at all. I think that's going to be game. We're going to see what you can do on the second one. So yeah, guys, Gaming in the Rhythm takes game number 1 against the one and only James Baker here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Okay, guys, James Baker is down 1 gamer in the series, and I mean, some people in chat already said earlier that they would switch out James Baker because he was the one player in the team that had a bit of a problem during the big fights. But as the game continued, it was pretty obvious that Gaming in the Rhythm was just a little bit farther ahead here. Now, James Baker chose the lobby, and it is actually Brax's holdout. So, first of all, just to sum up the last game a little bit and the approach on this, James Baker, what do you think James Baker should do now?
So, they obviously have something prepared for Brax this year. I do like the Gul'dan ban, definitely. Very annoying here on this map. Stacks very, very fast, obviously, because of that 4v4 lane.
What do you think about that ban on Khaldor, though? I mean, basically banned for the same reason, right?
Well, I think they're taking a comfort pick away from me. I am quite well known for my Khaldor, obviously.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You're well known for your Khaldor, that's why they should allow you the hero.
Moving on.
Shots fired and ignored. Okay. Gaming in the Rhythm, picking the early false set. Now, personally, I have to admit that I didn't see that coming. Do you think that false set is really good enough on the map to really warrant a first pick on him?
Definitely wouldn't first pick it. I much prefer this first pick Tychus that I've done here. But it's not bad. Obviously, you always have utility with the fly, especially in the 4-lane solo lane dynamic. Falstad always has gank pressure on either lane, from either lane.
Oh.
And it's actually very good against Chen, so they must be thinking 2 steps ahead.
I was actually just now about to ask you what personally your best solo laner is, so that we have a bit of an idea of what you're going to pick for the top lane. And apparently it's Chen. I never knew.
Yeah. Well, actually it's Khaldor, but I guess I just don't want to show the cheese like this early on. So...
You mean you're having mercy on everybody that plays Hero League and don't want to show your impressive Khaldor performance so that people don't try to copy that when they are playing ranked?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Why not? Let's go for that. Alright guys, so gaming in the rhythm with a 1-0 lead, picking the Malf here, going for the support immediately. But still interesting to see that we have that early false set, so maybe a bit of like gank attempts here on their part. But yeah, you chose the map, so you must actually be pretty happy with this. Also, who's Falstad gonna gank? I mean, are you gonna send a Falstad to the top lane to take out a Chen?
Oh, he's actually very good against the Chen, just because for Chen to get value in the lane, he always plays aggressively. He always wants to tank tower shots. And as soon as he starts tanking tower shots and Falstad comes, before 7, Chen doesn't really have that great a way to sustain. So you get a lot of poke damage, and if Chen has no tap, which he will usually tap to make sure he can tank towers early in the game, then he actually gets forced out, and he'd probably lose the beacon for a lengthy period of time at that point.
I mean, right now we're still looking at the bans here, but we already have a fair amount of damage. I like the Vala here because she at least adds some kind of wave clear also to the setup that they have. Falstad, of course, with the Boomerang has a bit of that, but Vala with a multi-shot build is pretty decent for that too. What about your next damage dealer? Are you a little bit worried at this point? What would you go for?
Well, we still got some good things up. Obviously, Sylvanas, always great on this map. Very good at clearing, which is something a lot of people undervalue, but also very good at pushing, of course. We also have something around Hammer. Zarya and Tassadar are still up, so if we get, let's say, if there's no Oriole ban, we can definitely pick something like a Zarya Hammer for our bot side, round out with the Oriole.
Yeah, the Brightwing, of course, like James Baker, famous for the Brightwing plays here, immediately being taken away here. So, what are you going to pick now?
Yeah, I'd definitely still go for the Zarya Hammer.
Zarya
I
Hammer.
think there was some pretty good Zarya play last game. The shield's got a lot of value. She had a lot of energy the whole game, and that was great for the wave clear.
Yeah, I like your shields. You did that actually really well. I can't wait to see that actually in conjunction with the Chen. I mean, your top lane, your solo lane in the last one, I feel like the Thrall play that you performed there was pretty decent, but I'm personally interested to see what James Baker can really do on a Chen.
Me too. Yeah, actually.
What do you mean, you too?
Never seen it before, so...
You never played Chen before?
I might have a few games. I don't remember if I've played any games.
Wow! I actually thought that you had at least like every single hero play to a certain extent. There's your Jaina, by the way. So at least we don't have the hammer, but I mean you get a bit of that burst damage. So doesn't that also require you to have a little bit more lockdown? Do you still hold on to that Zarya?
Yeah, now that we've locked the Jaina, we definitely want a stun tank. That's kind of what we've got here in Dehaka, but not to the quite same extent as the ETC that I would have liked to see.
You have a bit of a split personality, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's like, have you ever heard of that left brain, right brain, like syndrome? Where like, you can't control one of your arms?
So basically you are the personified Shogun.
Exactly, yeah. so like my right hand's got like a mind of its own, and that's just clicking the heroes. And I'm like,
so
no.
your brain tells your hand to click on the hammer, and then all of a sudden you get a Jaina.
Exactly.
That must be really frustrating.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't draft for Dignitas, actually. We tried it once, but we ended up with our weird picks, so...
Alright, so we get the Dehaka in addition to the Chen. I mean, both of them could take the top lane here. Which one would you rather have there? Get the Chen up top and then use Dehaka to potentially gank?
I'd like to see Dehaka on bot side. I think Honestly, I'd really like to see if the hacker as the main stun initiator works out really well, because it's almost a guaranteed kill in the early game with the Jaina and the Tychus. So I'd like to see how it works out.
So we have the Oriel boys, and we get Misha as well up to the top lane, so taking it too. And yeah, I guess we're gonna head into the game and see if James Baker can win the second game. Currently, Gaming in the Rhythm is ahead, so let's do it. Brax's holdout, map number 2. Alright everybody, game number 2, Gaming in the Rhythm going up against James Baker. To the left side of the map we actually have Misha, played by Huff for Gaming in the Rhythm. The team is in the lead right now. Bjorn on Falstad, we have Kenji on ETC, Texa on Vala, and Gunnar on Malfurion. And as in the last map, towards the right side we have James Baker. And the team is playing with James Baker on Jaina. We have James Baker also on Dehaka, we have him on Chen. We have James Baker playing Tychus, and of course in the backline healing for Team James Baker is James Baker on Oriel. And commentating with me in this game is obviously James Baker.
James Baker.
Welcome.
So we're seeing a very interesting setup here from Gaming the Rhythm. The Falstad is already going for the gank on Chen. I'm not sure it'll be successful, but I do definitely like the idea.
It's actually a pretty cool idea, you're totally right. He can fly then bot lane and get something done here. Already Rexa is showing himself, so he's basically swapping himself out here and just saying there's nobody else here, just go for it. It would be kind of fantastic if they get an early game kill here, but I just don't believe it, because I know that James Baker on Chen is actually very solid and he should be able to escape, right?
Yeah, definitely no danger of a kill here, I don't think. But as you can see, this is what I'm talking about. Once Chen is half HP, that he has much less pressure on the wave. And so the next, let's say, 1.5 minutes of this lane is completely in Rexar's favor.
It was a pretty smart move on the side of Gaming the Rhythm for sure, and they still have that strong bot lane for themselves too. And when we're looking at the talents, it's pretty much what you would expect here. The Gathering Storm for the mage set build. Season Marksman not really getting a whole lot of value on a map like this. We're also seeing the Prog Rock, and we have again the Moonburn. Yeah, but the top lane is definitely going to be really rough right now for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a disaster. As you can see, he still has decent clear speeds. Rexar definitely cannot break his shield on his own, but he's still not really getting that HP back.
Yeah, and that's going to be rough with that beacon there later on. So that HP is a massive loss, and with a decent stun at some point it could really become a big issue. But so far, Chen still doing his thing up at the top. Beacons are now active. Down to the bottom of the map on the other hand, we're still having, of course, James Baker on the Haka, trying to see if he can maybe get a good drag on at some point so that the rest of the team can capitalize on it, especially, of course, that
we're seeing the gank up in the top lane. The Falstad flies again, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Chen pretty low. He will be able to drink, but I'm not sure that's enough. It might be. It's so close, and he does actually go down.
Gaming in the Rhythm is playing this pretty smart. I mean, that was a really good rotation once again with a quick flyer. Of course, down to the bottom of the map, they will have to give up the beacon for a little bit. But they get the kill, they get the experience lead at the top, and Falsa can always come back in. And even at the bot lane, you're losing the beacon. You're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm playing a bit too scared here. I don't think there's any potential for Falstad to get back to the lane at this point. And even if there was, it's still a 4v4.
Do you think it's a bit of an issue, like casting and playing at the same time? Is it just like overdoing it a bit with the...
I think that's definitely distracting me, yeah. I don't think I'm playing to my optimal level.
I mean, I still appreciate the insights though, but I can totally understand that there might be an issue. Oh, at this point, the Haka, yeah, you borrowed that just in time, but it might not be enough. Not reacting for a second, and that could be the end of him. But gets away. It was a very close call though, but good on you. That was a nice escape.
Yeah, so the hacker, a bit of a weird interaction actually. If you borrow the initial route, then when you come back up, you can get rooted again, which is really quite weird because obviously no other skill in the game works like that with Malfurion Zoo.
Yeah, you have to face the music right now. I mean, losing both of the beacons resulted in a 100% progress wave against 0. So that bot lane is really tough. The level 4 on the top lane is giving you at least a bit more of a playmaker tool against the Misha. But yeah, with Ring of Fire, a bit more wave. Nice! That was a great attainment strike. Good job.
Yeah, a pretty impressive play on the Oriel from both teams so far in this series.
Yeah, you did really well with that. Like, that detainment strike was on point. So yeah, nice. To the top lane on the other hand, look at that, the setup. Are you going to fall for the same trick twice?
I don't think I'm in kill range right now.
But again, you take the damage, so it's a bit risky, but at least for now you still have the well up, so.
I think that's definitely a worth trade for me. I think having that fly down will basically mean that we're going to have pressure bot side. Although it doesn't look like I'm using it because I have recalled with 2 people.
Yeah, and we have also now a camp taken. So you're going to have the bot lane, you lost the fort. How big of a problem is it going to be for you with the next beacon phase that you don't have the well and no safe retreat? That must make things a lot harder for you, right?
So I'd say Game in the Rhythm definitely making the correct rotation here if this goes as I'm thinking. They're going to take this hard camp and then they're going to proceed into the top lane and push there instead. As long as we swap away with our 4-man as well, leave the hacker down here as the solo until Chen can swap, or indeed just leave it that way, we're going to have no issues with that well being gone.
Yeah, half this playing is really smart on the Rexa now, and as you said, the rotation is already taking place. So we have Rexa now up, down to the bottom, and the top is already pressuring. So the rotation in this case is a bit slow on the end of James Baker. We're seeing the wall already about to be destroyed, waves in, and finally the rest of the team is arriving here. But that took a long time and cost you a few structures as well.
I'm actually very pleasantly surprised by Game in the Rhythm. I think they're making a lot of the correct macro calls here. I think mechanically they've been playing it well as well. I do think their drafts have been a bit weird, but if they clean up their meta and playstyle, I think this could actually be one of the top teams in Open Division next year.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing really well here so far already, and that rotation, as you pointed out, was absolutely spot on. I love the play with Falster in particular, that early pressure against the Chen, just make sure that you win the lane, and then having the rotation later for the kill, that was fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Like, very innovative as well. It's not something that we see a lot from even pro teams.
Ah, James, what did you do there? The NA drag. That was a bit unfortunate.
Jaina, a bit out of position, although he has got oil, he does actually survive. Vala very out of position, also very low. And now another lick against ETC, but he does escape as well. We're seeing a lot of lucky Jainas in this series, but again, a fantastic rotation. The Falstad is down in the bot lane to gank the Chen yet again.
And the Vala with a ballsy vault forward to secure the Jaina kill. That didn't quite work out. All of a sudden she was the target. And talking targets, whereas Chen is attacked down here to the bottom and dropped by Falstad. We have ETC falling to the top. You got a counter kill at least, and he took control of one of the beacons. Good job.
Yeah, like, we're definitely not disappointing. Like, you can see the glimmers of hope there. We've got some, like, a really nice play. As soon as we saw Falstad bot, we went super aggressive on the top lane. A great play there, and we played it mechanically really well. Although, at the same time in the bot lane, yet again, I overextended a bit with Chen, and I think I actually could have survived if I pressed my D as soon as I got behind the gate.
Yeah, it was a close call for sure. I mean, it was literally the last hit that really killed you.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You might have been able to escape there. The beacons are now taken by your opponent, and I mean, this is rough now. The level 10 against you, the stage dive in, and all of a sudden, and Unleash the Boars has also now been claimed, so that makes it really difficult to engage this for you. But a big play down to the bottom right now, trying to just play the numbers game, but Falstad again ready, and here comes the stage dive. ETC jumping in, not going aggressive, actually working out for them. I like that. Not playing aggressive, knows fully well that they're still at the Haka, expects that there's be a Chen hidden too, could have gone for an aggressive slide, decided against it, and just simply secures the point, gets the objective without getting kill greedy and losing heroes here. I like it.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. A very controlled rotation again from Game in the Rhythm.
Totally understanding that you don't need to get a kill there, just the objective, immediately rotating top, leaving the Rex at the bot lane. And with level 11 versus level 9, just look at that, Gaming in the Rhythm, playing incredible play right now. So we have the heroic ability is going to come for you into the match in just a second. There we have it. But he lost fort number 2. You haven't really taken out any structures just yet. James Baker at this point, they need to defend. Yeah, they at least have Odin and pop that immediately to make the defense happen.
So this is definitely my chance to come back into the game. We're going to see the Hacker Bow behind. Remember, Rex are still bots, so this is a 4v5 in the top lane.
Yeah, he's looking to see if he can get a drag on, but not so far. Goes, misses it on the false set. Actually, in this case, Falset could have moved away a little bit faster, but it seems like Gaming the Rhythm is actually trying to flank you here. And Chen is immediately being locked down, has absolutely zero chance. A great Ring of Frost, though, but the Gust is there. Falstat is down. That was well done. ETC stage dives on point. Nice! Well done here. But the Haka still dies. I love the Burrow, but this is still turning against you here. But overall, nice attempt to turn this around.
Yeah, that was very almost a positive trade for us, despite a disaster start. Oriel didn't quite get Aegis off on either Chen or Dehaka, which could have turned the fight. So, I'm feeling cautiously optimistic about this game. I think we showed there we definitely have the opportunity to come back.
I mean, that Ring of Frost was absolutely insane. That was the best case scenario. I like that Falstad reacted in time to at least gust a few of them away, though. That was pretty well done. If not for that gust, I mean, he died after that, but if the gust doesn't happen, I think you actually take that fight easily and take them out right away. But so, it was still an okay trade given the circumstances. The problem really is that level 13 talent now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that bad because there's not very much on the map right now. Forcing a boss with how much damage the Braxia sold out boss does, that's not a viable option. So, they are going to be stuck. Sure, they might get some camps, but I think it's unlikely they get anything more than a keep count.
Yeah, pretty early drop on the Odin as well, so now they're just moving away. As long as the Haka doesn't get a drag for you, that Odin is a cooldown that's going to be pretty much wasted. Couldn't force the fight here, unfortunately, but at least you got the camp. How much do you think this is actually going to worth for you? I mean, you have the bot lane pushing out a little bit, top lane is still pressured. Do you have any chance going for the beacons here, considering the talent disadvantage?
So I think the way that we have to play this is Chen has to be the 1v1 top. We have to use the hackers, the global, and as soon as they commit more than 2 people to the top, we have a lot of kill potential with Tychus and Jaina, and obviously the potential to hacker as well.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like we're gonna see there's James Baker on the point right now, but ITC is already there. Rest of the team rotates in. There's a lot of James Baker up at the top.
So we're going to need to send Chen to the opposite lane here, and we're going to need him to try and stand on the point. It's a bit risky, but... Oh, they're engaging.
Yeah, and they go. A nice move by Oriel, but is it enough to save Jaina? Doesn't look like it. And that's the instant kill. Also, big silence here as well. Big problem. Didn't have an opportunity actually to drop the ring and try and get a counter kill here. So still a talent down, and that of course is now a huge spot for Gaming in the Rhythm to be in. Not only do they get the 100% versus 0 wave again, but at the same time there's another camp pushing. This is getting really rough. 5 kills against 2, but it's just those rotations that really are the main problem.
Yeah, definitely. We do seem to have a few macro-related issues here. What needs to happen is we need to have either Dehaka or Chen top, make sure they got that wave. That'll give us the 13, and then we could hard engage here on bot.
Yeah, big fire bot. At least Odin is up again, so that helps. We are seeing Chen still up at the top lane, trying to get a bit more experience and push that back. Can always go in with a stage dive. Should do so now, and does indeed. Tries to go in once again. Dehaka stunned out once, going for the burrow. We're seeing the ring on the ground, but Dehaka is still in trouble. Odin firing away the entire time. Could be a potential kill against at least Rexa. Nice fight, dude. That's actually looking really good for you.
The keep goes down, but we are still in the chase. Chen Pana's about to time out, and that is going to mean the end of this fight. Fantastic cleanse, actually, on towards Falstad. It looks like a tongue came out, hit Falstad, and immediately cleansed so that he could get out of there.
Yeah, the keep is down, but to be quite honest, that could have been so much worse for you here. If you lose a hero, then you are in trouble of at least losing the second keep. So right now, we're still seeing camps taken on the map though, but that level, it's just like that level difference that we are seeing here. It's just absolutely insane.
So what I'd like to see something risky. I want them to go to their hard camp. I want them to trap at the hard camp or even on the boss. And I don't like this rotation game in the rhythm. I think this is a bit aggressive when they don't have a talent advantage.
They're still going for the fight right now. They're willing to take it. They took the camp, but they're losing Rexa. He's down. That's exactly what James Baker just talked about. Having the problem that without the talent advantage, you take that fight. Rexa a bit too far out. And that's the problem. That's why Misha usually keeps Rexa in the backline.
Yeah, well, without the cleanse up on Malfurion, there really was no tool to save Rexa as soon as he got too far forward.
I like that you're a little bit more aggressive right now, that you realize that the talent, that the advantage in numbers is just good enough for you so that you can invade that camp. That was a great job.
Absolutely, and if we can send Dehaka back now, make sure we get all this bot XP.
Nice! Oh, Chen jumps in! The drag was awesome! And another kill. Dude, you're gaining a lot of momentum here.
And we definitely are back in the game, I'd like to say. We did miss out on the bot lane XP, which is a bit of a shame. We are going to need to clear the catapults as well, because this will be 3 of them on core. But we really need to look for the level 16 for the next beacons, and it doesn't look like we're going to reach it.
Yeah, like the next beacons right now in the 16 talent, that's dropping at the same time. That's really an issue. I like the kill. It was really well done, and also like getting the camps at the back of that. But now, good poke for Vala also. Frost shot into potential tenacious roots, and that is getting a bit rough. I mean, what can you actually do here? Do you take a Hail Mary fight and say like, okay, we have to do something? Can you survive another wave?
So here's where we need to use the globals. Just like I said before, we need the Chen to be contesting top, we need Dehaka ready to help him out, and we need the other 4 in the bot lane in case they send 2 people to deal with the Chen. And that could mean that we prevent the Silence, but we are taking a fight here.
Yeah,
Silence
you're taking that indeed. Odin is already in. The Chen, great move. Dodging actually the old Mother. The problem is there's still a fort down here. And Gaming the Rhythm is just simply retreating behind the fort. They can even tap the well and then engage again. They can outweight the Odin and go for it. But we have Dehaka up at the top lane, so the rest of the team retreats. Dehaka takes the top beacon. Therefore, no more progress for Gaming in the Rhythm. And that lets you slowly and steadily take the experience for level 16 talent. It was actually well done.
Yeah, definitely. We only used Odin and Pandas. So we still have the potential to take a fight if Game in the Rhythm get our position.
Yeah, getting close there, but Dehaka can't borrow down just yet. So this is still going to be 100% wave versus 0 if you don't do anything about it soon, and I'm not quite sure how you could. Do you think that the level 6... Dehaka is at the bot lane right now, so they're starting to move in once again. Here comes the jump, Misha is on the point, Rexa is... Yeah, he's dead, he's a goner.
And ETC comes in as well.
Oh wow, that detainment strike, he barely gets away. And to be honest with you, I thought he would kill ETC as well when he started to jump in.
Yeah, again, a very nice cleanse from my boy
James Baker.
Gowner Gunner on the Malfurion, having a fantastic game, and a very impressive game last game as well.
Yeah. Well, we have actually... So the big question is really, I mean, I guess in the 5 versus 4 you defeat this, you defend against this.
Yeah, this is actually the best case scenario for us. The wave has come out and Rexa has died, but also ultimates and cleanse have been burnt. Is going to mean almost no damage at all on the keep.
Yeah. So this is actually getting really close, considering how the early game went. I didn't really think that would happen, but that was extremely well played. The decisions in the later stages definitely really nice. Dehaka with a lot of value thanks to his global, even with the increased cooldown now.
That's not actually live yet. It's part of the very confusing patch note system where they nerfed the other globals this patch, but Dehaka and the PTR patch.
Seriously? I thought I read that on that. Okay, cool. I thought the Dehaka change was... But Falset is in, right? Falset already has it.
Oh yeah, Falset and Brightwing are in, but
yeah,
Dehaka hasn't.
It's a bit weird that they haven't put that in yet. But yeah,
it's also a bit weird that they released the patch notes on the same day. But
yeah, like sometimes when they like drop PTR and live patches and that's sometimes a little bit odd. But okay, so Dehaka in this case actually still able to jump around a little bit faster. 17 versus 17. Your biggest problem is really just that you lost that bottom keep. That's the biggest issue. Of course, you haven't taken any forts yet either, but like the bottom keep with the catapults pushing in, that could become a real problem eventually if the fights are being prolonged.
The lack of a keep is a big issue, but the lack of destroying an enemy wall is an even bigger one, actually. It means that we can't chase, and when we have pandas and we have Odin, that's exactly what we want to do.
At least you have the same talent, so you can fight again here. Nice lockdown against Chen. Chen is down! You just lost your frontliner, and this could be the end of the Haka too. Good burrow here, but once more falls that into the back. Double kill. Uh-oh, and oh my god, the bot lane. Good move again by Falstad. This is going to be the end of Tychus. The bot lane is already pressuring with the camp. Jaina is trying to defend that. But yeah, that is a massive lead right now for Gaming in the Rhythm. And they even have at this point also beacons coming up again. So they can easily just like drop those and get another 100% wave.
And this wave is going bottom, remember. I do not like the call to go boss because a lot of people don't know this actually, but the boss on Braxis follows the same logic as the Immortals on Battlefield of Eternity. It goes to the strongest enemy lane. So the boss is actually going in the opposite lane to the Zerg wave if they take it here.
But don't you think he buys time at least?
It definitely would buy time, and that top keep took a lot of damage from the hard camp as it turned out.
Yeah, because you either have to defend the boss or you're going to lose your keep, and in the meantime the beacons are just channeling. So now we have 8 vs 5 kills, level lead not quite, camps taken, and yeah, this is basically checkmate position right there. Oh, especially if you drop the Chen, and yeah, that should have been the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it looks like things are falling apart here. Tychus very out of position as well. We are going to need the Aegis most likely to save him, but it doesn't look forthcoming.
Oh, well, it's in there, but it's just not going to save him. Once again, the Gust just to be safe, and that is a double. That's a triple kill. Yeah, a nice Ring of Frost comes out, and that could be the end of Misha, but unfortunately for James Baker, it's not going to be the end of Vala or anybody else. So boss at the top lane already destroying the keep, and the wave
boss
is
full HP as well. The one saving grace is that they have no healer, and they're already quite low, but I think just the boss and the Zerg wave is going to be enough to finish it here.
Yeah, so guys, there it goes. Gaming in the Rhythm takes it with a 2-0 against James Baker at heroeslaunch.gg. GG, well played.